some of the quotes from the players like Grady Jarrett and who I also forgot we got.
Yeah.
Grady Jarrett. No, and the intensity and just them stopping practice and resetting things and the devil's in the details,
Yeah.
So you can appreciate that, but I also mentioned that I'm trying to, have this be my grounded year where I'm not too excited, so the losses don't hurt as much if they do come.
Right.
Because we've got excited in the past, and coaching does matter, and it feels different, but we'll see it on the field. That's what I want to see. I want to see like a march up and down the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah. None of those 3-and-outs nonstop.
I think we have the 4th-ranked hardest schedule. For some reason. We don't have an easy schedule. Part of that's because we play in the NFC North, and it's obviously going to be naturally hard for us just based on who we have to face twice a year.
Right.
All the teams we face were in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
In our division, you know what I mean? So, the Bears did announce their preseason schedule. So if anybody's out there wondering what game they want to go to for less expensive, week 1 we're playing Miami Dolphins at noon. Buffalo Bills. Week 2, that's August 17th. First one was August 10th, and then August 22nd, Kansas City Chiefs. August 17th.
Yep.
Against Buffalo Bills. So, Knox will be in the house. 7 p.m. game. Sunday night game. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can end Josh Allen's career.
Jeez.
Be on the sideline. That'd be weird.
Yeah, a freaking play gets pushed off to the side on exit and he gets rolled up in it.
You're tackling the second string quarterback. Tackle him all the way out of the field.
Yeah.
The bet. Yeah, if that happens, I'm probably getting sued. So I hope that does not happen for real.
How'd you lose your career? I made this weird prediction that we'd...
They pretty much think I set the whole thing up. Eric Stevenson ruined his career because I wanted him to.
Yeah.
No money involved. Do you think Roma Dinze has a 1,000-yard season? Is it 700 some?
I want to say yes. My only hesitation is there's just so many options to pass that ball to.
It's going to be more about what you do with the ball when you get it.
Right. But Caleb likes him a lot. Like Caleb likes, and they had a great connection last year. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but like I said, it would just be hard because there's a lot. Yeah.
Really good receivers.
Yeah.
Supposedly Loveland is the best receiver in the draft.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the best, but the best receiver.
Right.
You know? Because the other tight end is a much better blocker, I guess. The guy from Penn State.
Williams just throws for 5,000 yards, and all 5 of them have 1,000 yards. Moore, Odunze, Burden, Komet, and Loveland.
Let's not get my hopes up, dude. These are all unrealistic. 1,000 yards, yes or no?
No, I don't think quite yet.
I'm going to go with yes.
I think DJ Moore's still going to get the majority of the catches.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I think like if he got 700, he can get a couple more hundred, and then if he's close, you get him. You know what I mean?
Do you think him and DJ Moore go over 1,000 then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Barring injury.
Right. Obviously, knock on wood. Just.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they easily could, if it's the play calling's right and the practicing is crisp.
Yeah.
But we do have a hard schedule and we face a lot of good defenses.
Yep.
So what was the game that you had?
All right. So it's the game that you see all the time, the $15. You got to pick a few things. You can only spend the $15 by the end of it though. So I have that, but it's build your offense and weapons for the Bears.
Okay.
All right. So for quarterback, for $5 you can have Jim McMahon. For $4 you can have Caleb Williams. Or I'm sorry. For $4 you can have Sid Luckman. For $3 you can have Caleb Williams. For $2 you can have Jay Cutler. For $1 you can have Sexy Rexy himself, Mr. Rex Grossman.
I'm going Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler?
Bucks?
Yeah. There's quite a few like I was like, oh, I don't really know how to price those. Like some good ones there. For running back, for $5 you get Walter Payton. For $4 you get Gale Sayers. $3 you get Matt Forte. $2 you get DeAndre Swift, and $1 you get Anthony Thomas.
I'm going Walter Payton. I'm taking my $5.
Yeah. I figured that's where you're spending your money at. So you got $7. For tight end, for $5 you can have Greg Olson.
$5.
What?
13. Start with 15. Jay Cutler was only 2 or 3.
Jay Cutler was 2. So 7. Right?
2.
And,
Go off of 15. About 13.
oh, yeah, okay.
5.
You're counting down. I'm counting up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. -7 on 15. Yeah. I'm at 8.
Yeah.
We're both correct in this case.
So for tight ends, you can have $5 Greg Olson, $4 Mike Ditka, $3 Martellus Bennett, $2 Cole Kmet, $1 Desmond Clark.
Was 5?
5 is Greg Olson. I'm doing career-wise. I'm not just doing necessarily Bears career.
Yeah. Even so, even with just Bears career,
Yeah.
I was Desmond Clark. I gotta go low money here. I'm running out of money.
There's only 4 categories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I ran out of time. I was going to make more, but I'll do that for a defense. I'll do more categories. So who you going?
Then I would go. Who's the middle one?
Martellus Bennett.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Bennett. I'm not a huge fan of him, but
Tried to kill Kyle Fuller on the practice field.
I Fuller.
For wide receiver, $5 DJ Moore, $4 Brandon Marshall, $3 Devin Hester, $2 Alshon Jeffrey, $1 Musid Muhammad.
Which money do I have left?
So you got 3, 10. You have 5. You can spend all 5.
Who's the top one?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ.
Yeah.
I feel like has the potential to be the best wide receiver ever.
Yeah.
Bears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as statistics go.
Yeah, I put Devin Hester at 3 because it's like, as a wide receiver, like, like you get the special teams, but as a wide receiver.
Ball in his hands.
Yeah.
He could catch.
Right.
Yeah, what was your team?
It was Caleb for 3. I had running back was the hardest, I think. It was I'd probably go with Walter Payton, so that's what 3, 8. I'd probably go Komet, so 10, and then I'd go. Let's see, 8.
That's the other thing I think is going to be overlooked this season is Komet.
Yeah.
Because I think people are going to try to, make sure Loveland is covered and,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's going to be schemed up.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, it's with that, like, if you're running a two tight end set and you're passing the ball, like, one of those tight ends is going to slip through.
Yeah.
Because you're having a linebacker cover, like, both of them. Like, Loveland's basically a wide receiver, and Komet is just big and strong. So, I feel like at some point you run out of defenders if all of them turn out to what we want them to be.
Opinion wise, I think Loveland is going to burn linebackers in the league.
Yeah. You're going to have like a Kyler Gordon on him.
Yeah. And it's like, so what do you do on the back end for Luther Burton or
Right.
Jay Moore?
So you're running out of defenders at that point.
Yeah. That gives you a lot of options. I think the defense, we got picked up some pieces that I'm pretty happy with. We'll see how the defensive line holds up if they stay healthy.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned earlier, they were pretty good at the beginning of the season until piece being Billings going down.
Yeah.
Everything kind of domino effect from there. I felt like, we just weren't stopping the run or doing any of that stuff.
Right. Yeah, it just seems like once Billings went down, and then once Kyler Gordon went down and Jaquan Brisker's, like, the defense just fell apart. Confidence got lost in the offense. Just was a domino effect, like you said, of like things just going wrong. Coaching, getting fired and let go, and just making terrible decisions.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the Allen does with the defensive line as well. I feel like just putting them in a position to be successful instead of just, trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
Although our defense was even competitive with injury against some of the top tier teams like the Lions and the Vikings and
Commanders even.
Yeah. And the Commanders were right just one step away from Super Bowl. I am excited about those parts. I'm trying to maintain my level of excitement for what this team is until I actually see it. But it feels like a little more stability, maybe, which I don't think we said about last year's team.
Yeah, I would say so. Like I said, I'm not, like you keep saying, I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but like it seems like pieces we brought in, like unless we have a crazy situation like last year where players just all of a sudden just don't want to play, like things like that. But like we should be good.
Yeah, I don't see that as really an option for these guys' situation, because I feel like they know it's an opportunity having Ben Johnson, and it's not like Ben Johnson's going anywhere anytime soon. So,
Jesus, the Wolves just took down the Thunder 143-101. It's a quite the comeback statement.
Who was their top scorer?
Anthony Edwards.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's see. He had 30 points. SGA only had 14 points.
Really? Oh.
And MVP's already gotten to his head.
143-101. Who's at home though? So I mean, I give them a little leeway, but jeez.
And Florida is up 3-0 now in the series. 6-2 was what they just beat the Hurricanes by.
OKC leads that series 2-0. 2-0, by the way.
Well, 2-1 now.
Yeah. And then game 3, Indy leads 2-0 against the Knicks.
Yeah.
So down to OKC, Minneapolis, New York Knicks, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indiana Pacers, not Indianapolis.
But they're in Indianapolis.
Oh, wow. It's going to be a new team, right? Last year was.
I think from what I heard, this is like I think the Knicks won one like 40 something years ago, but other than that, like everybody would technically be their first championship because the Thunder have never won. The Sonic did, but Thunder technically never have. And then
Yep.
Timberwolves never have, and then um
Nick's still
the
ongoing.
well yeah.
Halliburton is single-handedly dismantling them.
Yeah.
From what I've seen from the highlights, I have not watched a game. So, if you're coming here for NBA news, ask Ryan. Blame him for information. No.
I will read you what ESPN said. It just looks like it was a great game.
Hey, guy do good thing.
Yeah.
Guy do bad thing. Russo's on Oklahoma City.
Yep. He's the oldest guy on the team, and he's only like 29.
Still losing hair.
Yeah. So he's been bald for 5 years, but somehow he's still losing hair.
Hasn't lost the beard yet. 7.1 points per game. 31 years old.
Yeah.
His birthday, February 28th, 1994.
Almost a leap year baby, right? Or is that leap year baby?
No, that'd be February 29th, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. Almost then.
Basketball is a pretty interesting thing. I have not had time to watch the game, but I will say their highlights are kind of cool because there's been some like buzzer beaters and real close games. Obviously.
Did you see the highlight of PCA getting the Grand Slam to win the other night?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I came up with my phone and I just knew it was going to happen. I'm like, I'm not even going to watch because if I turn on, it'll jinx it.
Yeah. This will ruin it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to do it.
You're like, I know I selfishly want to watch this, but for I'm willing to give this up for all of Chicago. So
Yeah, exactly. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I first, so. We should probably say our goodbyes and head over to this interview. It is esports. Did you guys talk about? Did he mention? I was going to ask you. What did he mention? What esports do they do?
yeah, so we got into that a little bit. They currently carry they're in 9 games currently. They do Call of Duty, they do League of Legends, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, Rocket League, Smash Bros. And then, because I can't remember, you'll have to tune in to find out the other 3.
I have not listened to this interview, so I'm excited.
We did play, I want to ask you, Michael, we played Mount Rushmore, obviously.
Yep.
And we did controllers, system controllers.
Thanks. I'm probably not the best. I had 3 my whole life. Oh, it's hard to think of them. So I will go. My Mount Rushmore is free Xbox controller ever.
His
I have an
was,
Xbox.
I
What's your butt?
believe his was GameCube, Genesis, original Xbox, and PlayStation, maybe. Or no, it was PlayStation and NES.
I will say the original little square thing from Nintendo, just because
Yeah.
that's where it did. Would be mine. Is one of the OG controllers. Next I would go to. Is it the GameCube, the one that was like it was like 3.
The 3-prong one was the 64
64, Nintendo 64. That'd be my next.
with the joystick in the middle, right?
Exactly. Yep. And then Probably the PlayStation 1 and then the current Xbox One
Yeah.
for me because I just played it so much, because it's kind of been going for like a decade now, the
Yeah.
Xbox One. That is very cool. That you talked to him and that those are the games. I'm
Yeah.
actually really surprised. I'm wondering if they need a professor of Madden and play. I'm currently undefeated playing for the level before the national championship against Georgia as
Oh,
Illinois.
speaking of that, college football playoff, you were pissed last year about the seeding situation. They changed
Yeah.
it.
So I heard that. Yeah, I was like, well, come on, you're not getting the best.
Yeah.
Basically, like you're awarding people that are in poorer conferences, really.
Yeah.
Like strength of competition, yada yada yada, all the stuff.
It should just be 4 best teams no matter what. It shouldn't be you're going. If Boise State's number 4, cool, give them the bye week. But
and they also said you still get into playoffs. You're just gonna have to play that first round.
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I did think about you immediately when I heard that. I was like, Michael was pissed all year last year.
Would have helped Alabama because we would have just lost in the playoff then, and it would have been more heartbreaking instead of guys that had checked out against Michigan in a bowl game.
Right.
But we'll see. I hope it affects us this year. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
SEC is real competitive.
Yeah. SEC and Big Ten just forgetting basically how many teams are going to make it out of those two.
Yeah, and how many players go to the NFL? I mean, those are the top two. So, and that's kind of the funny thing because it's like you have rivalries within your division, within your team.
Yeah.
But you also like conference rivals too, where you want the SEC for me. I want them to do better than the Big Ten. But the Big Ten's been, getting the national championships for a few years. So, and they've added some really good teams too, or potential good teams like USC has always have potential to have a recruiting class that just blows everyone away. I mean it's the Big 18 now. Let's be honest. So,
oh yeah,
there's plenty of good players because you guys have half the United States colleges.
what is the SEC at now? Because when they added Oklahoma, right, and Texas. Did they swap out 2 or did they just gain 2? I couldn't even remember.
Because basically, isn't like the Big 12 kind of participating or no?
Pac-12 is. Pac-12 is. But I think Big 12 has still got like Colorado, Iowa State, TCU, all those teams. And I think they absorbed some of the Pac-12 teams. And then I think they took like some... They might have taken some other ones too.
We have 16.
Yeah.
This includes the newly added University of Oklahoma and University of Texas. Which I'm sure they were trying to get USC and Oregon and whoever else was.
Yeah, I mean you're just asking for money to come in, especially like Oregon and USC, like those two especially. Like you're just asking for money when they join.
Yep, exactly.
UCLA, when they're at their peak, are good to watch too, but right now they're just in a slump.
Sure, but honestly, you go out there, it's like they have a following. You're bringing in money.
Yeah.
They have a ton of alumni, and they're in LA, so it's like they're gonna have a bunch of NIL money, if they want.
Because that's the one thing that works for UCLA is like it's an acting school too, right? So. Like it kind of works for like, whereas like the Rams, like nobody goes to the Rams games because it's like, well, we just already have enough to do. Like at least a lot of the UCLA is like tied to the people that are out there because they went to school there.
And you have a crosstown rivalry in USC, and I mean, so there's some, and they used to dominate at basketball was their thing.
Yeah, and baseball too, right? I'm pretty sure USC and UCLA are really good at baseball. Yeah. California just in general with baseball, though.
Sure. They get to play year round, so it helps.
Yeah. That's like I always find it funny. Like people are like, summer ball is like, and I just look at it as like, isn't that the only time you can play baseball? Like, as a Midwest kid, like, what other times are there to play baseball?
Yeah, there was leagues all year long,
Yeah.
and yeah, even like rec leagues. It's just whenever you could up one and go play another one as soon as that one was over. All ball, spring ball.
Yeah.
Summer's like almost too hot in Southern California anyway, so probably a little less than. But the one thing is too, like even in San Diego, it's like the Padres never really sell out. It went
Yeah.
back. They obviously do for like playoff games and stuff, but you can go to a game pretty inexpensively.
Yeah.
Cool to see MLB, but it's just like, again, people would rather sit in their backyards and watch the game on the TV than venture downtown and go through all the just to buy a $15 beer.
Right.
That being said, stick around after the outro here. Obviously, we have that interview with Keith Hamaker from San Ambrose Esports. But thank you to him for taking his time to do the interview. Thanks, Ryan, for taking the time outside of the podcast to do the interview. And thank you, Julie Burheit and Lindsay O'Brien, for giving us time away from our families to do this. Tune in next week. We'll talk about more Bears, OTAs, whatever practice, and hopefully there's some news going on about stadium updates and less news about Bears that didn't want to play for the Bears.
Yeah.
But that being said, let's